Hi guys, it's me Haswat. Today I'm gonna give you another review, and this movie for the movie Skyscraper, starring The Rock and Neve Campbell. Um, I just want to say that one thing is the one thing that I remember most from this movie is, in the trailer, they have this guy The Rock, because The Rock is hired to be a consultant for this tower. And in the trailer, The Rock was saying that this tower is dangerous and stuff like that. But then he ended with, "But what do I know? I'm just a security guard." So, because in the trailer he was telling the owner how dangerous it is, the tower is dangerous and stuff like that. However, in the movie, that scene is not there. In the movie, The Rock was just praising the tower. He was not saying that it's dangerous. He did not say the line, "What do I know? I'm just a security guard." They don't have that line. So that's the first thing that you notice that is different from the trailer and how it is in the movie. And another bit, that's the only thing that really stuck with me. The second thing that stuck with me, that how underwhelming this movie is and how stupid it is at certain points. It's very stupid. There is one scene that I cannot make an excuse for that. There's one scene. Okay, this tower that he's a consultant for this tower, and this is taller than the Burj Khalifa, they say. So Burj Khalifa is, if you watch Mission Impossible, so that's the tower they're talking about. So there is one scene in Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise have to go outside the window and have to climb up, and it's a dangerous stunt, and how dangerous. So they have their special glove. In this movie, The Rock just uses tape. I don't care how strong the tape is, you can't do that. It was such a dumb movie to me, because it really took me out. He uses a plaster, a tape that he wrapped around his hands, so he pastes on the glass like that, and then try to emulate what Tom Cruise did. Oh, it's such a disappointing movie. If there's a bright spot in there, there is the reintroducing one of my favorite actress from the 90s, which is Neve Campbell. Neve Campbell have gone out from the movie business for a long time. I have not seen if there was any new movie from her. So it was good to see her in this movie, that she plays his wife, Rock's wife, who is also a doctor who used to work in the military. So you can see her kicking ass in this movie, and she's a really good actress. I really like seeing her again. However, and this is, I when you study filmmaking, you study how shots are done. Every shots a good movie makes have meaning, because you wanna compose a shot, do that scenes. There must be a reason why you shoot like that. So the biggest, sour taste in my mouth, even though I like Neve Campbell and it's not her fault, is that they asked her to bend over, picking up something on the table, purposely, on purpose, so that the camera can just look at, when she bent over, at her cleavage. You know what I mean? It's really meant to be that way. It's really meant that shot, just to see her cleavage. And they will say, "Oh, this is harmlessly enough," but it's really kind of sad because you got Neve Campbell coming back, and then for her to be in this big film, somebody has said, okay, you need to bend over, show your cleavage, and that is sad. For me, she doesn't need to do that. She is still hot regardless of whatever her age is. She don't need to do that. For me, that exploitation. And if you're saying that I'm overreacting, I'm just imagining it. No, because that's a technique. If you use sex sells in movies in Hollywood, so they have certain, in the old days when they cannot have a sex scenes in the movie, they try to put the actress as sexy as possible, regardless of the genre. When they do Tomb Raider, they make sure the breast is big, or when you have a character that is not so voluptuous, you just padded her bra, or sometimes they ask the actress not to wear a bra, so they can see the nipples. They do that. That's Hollywood. So they can say, oh, we didn't plan that, but it's a message they're selling to you that sex sells. And it is quite normal. It was quite normal in the 80s and 90s. They do that a lot. But for me personally, in 2018, to resort to that kind of tools is really lame. I mean, I don't like that. But it's coming back. I seen movies. Jennifer Lawrence did 2 movies that I saw. That the one is Mother, where she walks around basically not wearing a bra. You can see her tits, you can see her shape of the breast. I'm not trying to, it's there. I mean, because they know it's an art film, how do they attract people in? So they have Jennifer Lawrence in a see-through sheer dress. You can see her. I don't like that. I don't like they are resorting to that just to sell a movie. And then Jennifer Lawrence did Red Sparrow, where she's naked, half of it. And they call it an erotic thriller, which again just to sell that movie. And I believe that if there's no sex scenes that in Red Sparrow especially, nobody will watch it, I think, because it's not that great of a movie. And the guys that went to, oh, we need to see Jennifer Lawrence naked and stuff like that, but it's a very uncomfortable movie regardless, even though they have a good semi-good thriller kind of moment. But you don't have to resort the sex thing. You don't have to show nudity, but they show it anyway because it's exploitation to me. And it's coming back. I know I'm rambling, but I wanted to like, The Rock's movies, and I like that Neve Campbell's back, but the movie wasn't that great. And it's like the one that I said, the putting a plaster on his hand and then walking like doing Mission Impossible without the special glove is crazy. And it's sad that Neve Campbell had that weird kind of like bending over, showing her cleavage. You think I'm pervert? It's there for a reason. I mean, they did it just to sell that, because it took me out a bit. I was thinking like, okay, that's Neve Campbell, and then she just bent over. Come on, that's planned in the screenplay. So yeah, they did the same thing even in Star Wars when you had Natalie Portman in that. So they call it sex sells in the film industry. I know. They taught me that people who done films and photography has actually told me to do that too. When you're doing a shoot, you just want to have that sexiness come out, so they just say, oh, ask the model or actress not to wear a bra. And it's bad. It's like, hey, you don't need that. You don't need to do that. Actually, I remember there's a movie called Doom, which is The Rock stars in it. Also, The Rock played one of the villain in Doom, which is based on a video game, and they had Rosamund Pike in that. And there's one scene where Rosamund Pike, a doctor in a lab, I mean, all her scenes, she was wearing a lab coat, properly dressed. But in one scene, she wasn't wearing a bra. You can see her nipples pointing out. I was thinking like, that's odd, but they put it like, you know, sex and violence kind of makes and sell the movie, and that's really odd, and it really takes you out. And then they stopped doing that for a long time. I mean, I have no problem, but if it's done based on, you know, you have a point to the story, point to the character. But if you do it just to sell your movie, it's really tacky. And to me, Neve Campbell deserve better. I mean, that's maybe I'm making a big fuss out of it, but a lot of people that I saw this movie said it's just a ripoff of Die Hard. Even The Rock put up posters that, you know, make people remember of Die Hard and Towering Inferno. I mean, he knows it's not that great of a movie. Yeah, I wish Neve Campbell could have come back on a better vehicle, or another horror movie, or her drama. You know, you don't need to do this kind of thing. In 2018, more so because of the Me Too movement and whatnot. That's why I think we need more female directors. I think, you know, I saw Wonder Woman, right? Wonder Woman, she's directed by Patty Jenkins, and Wonder Woman character is hot. I mean, she wears sexy stuff. The whole island is full of hot women. They wear sexy stuff, but you don't see like a sexualization of it. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see it in Wonder Woman. There's no bending over. There's no nipples hardening or showing it to people. There's no voyeuristic elements in Wonder Woman. Even though James Cameron said, "Oh, it's just sexualization, the character." I don't see that because I think the director is a female director. She's not really selling. She doesn't need to sell the movie. She doesn't need to use sex to sell the movie. And I don't know why. I don't think, and I don't feel it. I don't feel Wonder Woman in that movie, or any characters in the Wonder Woman movie, is sexualized. You know, because there's no such scenes where, oh, please bend over to the camera, just to show, or, you know, there's another shot that they like to do, the writers like wants the female actors to do. It's either the camera is pointing out like that, you know, so you can see some cleavage, or bend over so you can see it, or the ass scene. I mean, I'm not being a feminist, but come on, you don't need to sell your movie using sex. I think one of the worst movie that did that to me, I still remember it today, because the movie could have been good, but people focus on the sex scene so much, which is Swordfish, starring Halle Berry, John Travolta, a good movie about terrorism and counter-terrorism, a thriller. And then there is one scene in that movie that people make a fuss out of it, where Halle Berry just show her chest naked, and it's really nothing to do with the movie, nothing to do with the plot, nothing to do with her character. They just want to sell the movie because based on that. And to me, that's really low, and I didn't like that. I mean, maybe I'm the only one who thinks this way, maybe, but I don't think so. I know people talk about this a lot, you know. I mean, when you learn photography or cinematography, you want to make a film, they say, oh, you need to sell sex, you know, you need to make the girl wear sexy clothes. You know, you can see, I think the first movie, Resident Evil, that Mila Jovovich did, has a lot of that, you know, Mila Jovovich waking up in the shower, not wearing a thing, and then Mila Jovovich, throughout the movies, you know, throughout the Resident Evil movies, and then there's one, she's wearing clothes that just wanna, it's not practical, but just want to be hot. I mean, there's no problem with people wanting to be hot on themselves. People have the right, you know, if you're honest. But when it's exploitation, when it's a male director, when they try to sell a movie, yeah, I mean, I don't think, I don't like that. It's my personal taste. I don't like that kind of thing. So the movie, I know it's a bit of tangent, but I just want to talk about that. And the movie is just lame. the movie try to copy a lot of other movies but fail because it is so ridiculous, so weird, so unnecessary, and the villain is really laughable. I laugh at the villain for his stupidity, for this crazy plan, and the Hong Kong cops never brought up helicopters with sniper rifles to fight the terrorists on top of the building. It's really an embarrassing movie. And then there is one weird flaw. They have this weird flaw where it's like magic. They have a lot of mirrors and whatnot. It's just, you just go back and say, bullshit. This is just a bad movie that Rock star in. Even though they said I was almost influenced by some movie reviewers saying that, oh, it's kind of an okay movie, but it's really not. It's really just a lazy kind of movie. And I love Neve Campbell. I'm glad that she's back, but I hope she doesn't have to resort to this kind of movie, just to be exploited by directors like that. Go and watch Rosamund Pike in Doom. If you don't believe me, there is one scene. I think there's a few movies where, like say Resident Evil, there another movie that did the same thing. It was Kate Beckinsale, vampire movies, what do you call that? Very forgettable. But a lot of them, they use sex to sell the movie, whereas it's just it's just a fantasy that some of these male directors have. There is one, until today somebody pointed out to me, that Wonder Woman, Black Widow from DC movies, from Marvel movies, her fighting scene, like she jumped onto this guy's head and then suddenly can break his neck with his neck between her thigh and leg and just swirling around. It doesn't work that way. It's just some fantasy that people want to do. Anyway, I'm going off tangent. I wrote a long thing on Twitter just talking about this. Yeah, I don't like this movie. Out of 10, I'll give this 4 out of 10. Definitely below average. Yeah, The Rock needs to do a better movie. I like The Rock, I like Neve Campbell, but the movie is just dumb. And yeah, that's my long review of this movie, Skyscraper. Don't watch it. Okay guys, peace.